Yes, yes, yes. Hey, I need you to. It's screaming at me. I couldn't.
Which one?
I don't know. That's what I was. Can you do a ear check real quick? I killed two, and then the last one.
Test, 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 test. I'm good. Is it the phone?
It may be.
You might have to.
dead. I thought that channel was dead.
You might have to turn the phone mic off.
I think it is.
Test one, two.
Sounds good.
So are we good to go? Oh, we're live now. So you already made it live. All right, we're live.
I just killed the mic while we were going.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, okay. Apparently we're live. I didn't know that. All right, we're back. Let me get in the. I was not ready. I was not ready. All right, can you hear me okay, Alan? Everybody good? You can hear me? All right. Turn that first mic up in case we have another person come over. Um, but yeah, we're here. Law Enforcement Hall of Fame, Fort Worth, Texas. We are at the Omni Hotel. This is our second live. We wanted to make sure Banning's LinkedIn channel joined up because we weren't sure how well our internet connection and all that stuff's going. So that first round was a little test run. It worked out, so hopefully we don't have a cut and feed for a while. We're going to slowly just be bringing people over, talking to them about what the Law Enforcement Hall of Fame is to them, why they're here, and all that good stuff. I am looking at Banning right now, trying to get him. Reverend James Campbell, good morning from Japan. Konnichiwa, right? Look at me, well-traveled man, drinking a little ranch water. And we have a full packed house of all these people that are here. I did this last year. It was very impromptu this year. We had a little more pre-planning. But as you guys can imagine, we got here, I would say 2:30, 3 o'clock. And we did not get finalized and set up until right when we were supposed to go live. It's always something. But where did you get that? I got Alan behind the scenes over here. He has a mouse pad that is a full-size donut. Look at it. Look at this thing. That's a mouse pad. I love it. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors while we're here. Shout out to Ghost Patch, representing their metal badge, as you can hear here. And I actually have our patches that we got here, the Velcro flex patch that they have. It looks like a real metal badge, but it's not. Shout out to them, and shout out to Retro Rifle. I'm wearing my gorilla shirt tonight. I got the Texas tuxedo going on. John Barker said he's back, brother. Appreciate you. Patrick Truelove, I sit with Alan. Alan's sitting over here right now. Alan actually has control of the cameras, and I think when he gets a chance, he's going to show you guys just exactly what you may be hearing and what I'm seeing. There is a ton of people. Actually got to talk to some students. You guys got to hear from Von Cleem earlier. That was really cool. Now we're trying to wave people over. Hey, Banning! Somebody. So, we're Alan's working his camera magic over here. He's using an Osmo. It doesn't look as clean, but all right, here we go. Now we got somebody. Michael Best, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Excellent. First and foremost, I know I look good because I'm wearing a Retro Rifle shirt. But damn, I think you're outclassing me tonight.
Hey, you know what? Last year, people were giving me some gruff on your podcast for wearing the ball cap up on stage.
They were?
Yeah. I saw the comments.
Oh no!
I saw the comments on your live stream. They're like, "Who's this guy with a ball cap?"
It might
at a
have been.
formal event.
It might have been your the Hall of Fame people, because the live feed cut out halfway through the live feed last year, and they all jumped over to
Yeah, and
our
everybody was
channel.
watching on your channel. Yeah.
So that may have been your people. I don't think that was our people. But sir, since you are out here, I want you to tell everybody first and foremost, what is the Hall of Fame to you, and why are you out here?
So back in 2022, myself and my vice president Dan Mahoney, we were inducted to the Hall of Fame. We run a charity called the Leo Sport Foundation, Law Enforcement Officer Sport Foundation,
Which is what your hat says.
which is what the hat is. Yeah,
Yes.
LEOSF.
Yeah, so don't talk about his hat. Talk
So
about his hat.
what we try to do is we try to bridge the gap between what funds the departments and agencies have and what is needed between for their officers to be safe. So we started out by providing tourniquets and quick clot to police departments that didn't have the money in the budget to do that.
Okay.
And then a couple of years ago, we brought my buddy Tom Kelly on board to start doing more mental health outreach too, because at the end of the day, our goal is to save lives.
Right.
And whether it's with the tourniquets, the quick clot, whatever other protective equipment that we can provide, or preventing somebody from taking their own life. Because unfortunately, in the first responder career field, you're more likely to die by suicide than you are to be killed in the line of duty. And there's a lot of departments doing good stuff now, but that's a more recent thing.
You're right.
There's been, for the last several years, it wasn't a thing that people talked about. There was a stigma around it. People didn't want to reach out. And we're just trying to bridge that gap and help people, be physically safe and help their mental health and try to save them that way too.
What are some of the ways you guys are overcoming getting people to have those conversations because of the stigma that comes around suicide?
So I'm hoping now that there's not as much of a stigma that there was before. I've been a cop for 19 years now, and I remember when I first got on, it was nobody talked about it. But probably over the past 5 years or so, it's the conversations have been happening, and that's great for the career field, and it's great for people's mental health. But what we try to do to overcome that is we share things on our social media to try and tell people like, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
We've been on a few different podcasts. We've talked about it. We host different events where we bring people together and we have discussions. I'm part of the peer support team up in Massachusetts too. And
Okay.
when there's a critical incident, we try to encourage people to come and do a critical stress debriefing. And one of the things that I'll talk about too when we do a debriefing is I'll talk and I'll say, I've been to a debriefing before. It's okay to cry today. It's okay. I worked for Weymouth PD up in Massachusetts, and I lost 2 friends and coworkers in the line of duty. And I went to those debriefings, so I have that experience to be able to talk to other people and be like, hey, if you keep your emotions inside, it's not going to help you. You need to go to this, and it's okay to cry in front of people. It's okay to talk about your feelings, and other people are feeling the same way that you feel.
Right. I think that's the big thing too, is just understanding that you're not the only one feeling that way.
Yeah, that was a huge.
Yeah.
The first debriefing I went to, that was a huge thing for me. I was only like a year and a half on the job at the time,
Yeah.
and to hear other people that more senior officers saying, like, I'm also messed up because of this.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to say refreshing, but it was comforting.
Yes.
To know that, okay, it's not me.
Yeah.
This is a natural reaction to a critical incident, and we need to talk about it, or else we're just going to keep it bottled up inside. And it's going to pop off.
It's gonna come out sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I like to do when I talk to my officers whenever we're discussing mental health is lean on your spouse. I lean on my spouse, and it may not work for everybody's relationship, but for me, it's a whole. It is a perfect partnership, and what I mean by that is, if it's something that's tough for me, I have to lean on her. That's what she's there for. So for me, I like to lean on my spouse. So any officers out there listening, trust your spouse. there's a stigma in our career field that we shouldn't be sharing a lot of our stuff with our spouses, and I don't agree with that. I think that is the burden that they bear when they get in this relationship with us, and they help us through those things, and that's helped me a lot. Is leaning on my wife, Sarah. If you're listening, love you, honey. She's at work right now. She's a nurse. She's out there saving babies. She's a baby nurse, so. But
Yeah, so I got my wife down here with me. I consider myself very lucky because my wife's also a police officer.
okay,
She's a detective up in Massachusetts, and so I feel like for me it's easier to share stuff.
She understands
with her
the job.
because she understands the
Yeah.
job and she gets it.
yep,
And some people don't always have that relationship, with that connection.
right,
Where how do you tell your wife that doesn't know anything about policing, like that you had to go to a car on fire with 3 people dead inside? Like,
right.
they might not get that, but I consider myself lucky that my wife does get that, and I can talk to her
Yep.
about that stuff.
My wife, what we did, we made the deal. Hey, I had a tough call today. Do you want me to tell you about it? So tell me about it. Okay. How much do you want to know? Do you want to know all of it, or do you want to know kind of a dumbed down version so I don't get graphic? And every single time she's like, I want to know it how you know it. So that's worked out for us, but setting those parameters I think helps. So you don't overshare, you don't give her nightmares. So you got to know your own personality type as well, and know her personality type or his. But that's worked out for me. But yes, talking about it, and I think that's really the root of what you and I are discussing is having the conversation, not being afraid to do so, and finding out that there's more outlets than, I hate to say it, alcohol and prescription pills. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
We're not using it as a crutch. We're celebrating tonight, guys. So, I appreciate it. So, is there anything you want to get out to the people? Let them know where to find you, where to check out your organization.
If anybody's interested in learning more about the Leo Sport Foundation, our website is www.saveleos.org. It's SAVELEOS.org. And we're on Instagram and Facebook at Save Leos. And now we're also on LinkedIn, Leo Sport Foundation on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you having me on and to talk about this. It's just, I take it to heart that people like you are coming down here for such a great event like the Hall of Fame, because what Megan and Adam are doing here with the Hall of Fame is to recognize the good work that police officers are doing is so important, especially in today's day and age where there's a lot of bad press out there.
Yeah.
And to have an event like this where people are recognized for the great things that they're doing out there is great. And I'm glad that you guys came down.
This is stuff the public doesn't ever get to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
the media is not going to cover this stuff, and this is, on Two Cops, One Donut, we bridge the gap we'll have the tough discussions about where cops are screwing up, but we also like to highlight where the cops are doing amazing work, and I think that's important.
If a cop screws up, they screw up, and they should be in trouble, but a lot of the times stuff comes out, it's people that don't know anything about policing, and they're commenting on it. They're like, what this cop did wasn't wrong. It might not look good, but it wasn't wrong, and it was justified and stuff like that. And we just constantly, and that's back to the mental health portion. Every single day, we're just constantly getting barraged with, all these negative news stories, and we need an outlet to, get away from the job for a little bit. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do with the mental health portion too. Is, we have Red Sox tickets, season tickets to the Red Sox.
Okay.
We'll give them away to people for free. We'll, sponsor a golf tournament. We'll force them in. Be like, hey, just get away from the job for the day. Get away from all the negative stuff for the day. Go out, do this.
Yeah.
And especially events like this, come down here, recognize the good work that cops are doing, and hang out with good people. It's great.
I like it. Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, brother. Go
All
enjoy
right.
yourself. We'll get
Take
some
care.
more people over here. All right, guys. Well, you heard it best from Michael Best. We are now. I'm looking over to the comments. I see Patrick Truelove. Guys, this is not going to be like our normal type of show. So if you guys are expecting like body cam reviews and stuff like that, we're not going to be doing that. We're actually here highlighting the Law Enforcement Hall of Fame, and in that we are going to be highlighting really good work that police have done I'm hoping to get some of the stories. One of the things that we don't have is that sitting in front of us and all the stuff that's going on. And Banning is currently trying to get some people over here to come chat with us. So I'm waiting for that to happen. But until then, I'm going to look at the comments. Reverend James Campbell said, your spouse and mental wellness is important, and let's not forget spiritual wellness. Amen, Reverend. Love it. Absolutely. And, it goes into what I was talking about with my spouse. I've always leaned on my spouse if I had a bad call, and I'd tell her. And then Banning's pointing at me. How's it going, guys? So trying to see if he's going to snag some more people for me. Hey, Banning, anytime. So we are live, ladies. Come on over, say hello to people. So we're trying to get some more people over here. Hello. Welcome. I'm Eric Levine. You are officially on Two Cops, One Donut. What is your name?
Nicole Florisi.
All right, Nicole Florisi?
Yes.
Okay. Is that Italian?
Yes. One of the good things I got from my ex-husband.
All right. So with the mic, if you could speak at least a fist away, maybe a little, yeah, perfect. Right? Yeah, right there is good. Okay. And first and foremost, what brings you out here to the Hall of Fame?
So I work for Force Science, and my boss and I today, Von Kleem, we were teaching a class.
Okay.
It was fantastic. We were teaching class. We had a great audience. We had a whole bunch of criminology students from Bowling Green.
Okay.
And we partnered with Virtua today. So we gave a mini class on some human factor stuff, like, reasonableness of officer-involved shooting, stuff like that. And then we ran the kids through the simulator.
Okay.
And basically we did use of force, judgment stuff today. We also did some target like marksmanship stuff.
Okay.
But then they got to experience, hey, what is it like when you have kind of like a little bit of compression and you're dealing with like a domestic violence situation or a hostage situation. So we had a great time, and all the kids are floating around here. Maybe one of them will stop by, but they said they had a great time.
Yeah, we had a couple stop by, and we actually traded them up. By the way, since you decided to stop by, you get a patch.
Thank you.
So welcome for that. And now, when you were running students through Force Science things, what are some of the more common concerns or questions that they have?
They were primarily looking, so one of the kids in this school, one of the kids was starting law school, right?
Okay.
So we actually we had Vaughn go through a shooting, and we said, you have to defend Vaughn. So what are your questions? What are your concerns? What does that look like? So we gave him just a basic introduction on basically, for science, our model is honest accountability. So we talk about clear standards where officers can predict the legalness of their encounter, right?
Okay.
And then this is where I spend my time, the human performance side of things. Are we holding officers to standards of human performance, not superhero performance, right? I believe, in my mind, military and first responders is the most sacred calling on this earth, and we are special by nature of doing that job. But our brains aren't special, our bodies aren't special until we train them to a certain way. But you put your badge on, it deflects science. But they had questions. They were just looking at when could they shoot. Like we had one scenario where basically a guy that got fired, he got fired. He's in the truck talking to his boss. The officer gets called because the guy's refusing to leave. When we show up, basically the guy pulls out a gun, puts it to his head, and so you have to decide what are you going to do with that. So the boss runs away, and you can make the guy get out of the car and basically walk towards City Hall or whatever with a gun to his head. And students didn't know that they could really shoot in defense of others. They thought they could only shoot in self-defense. So we're like, okay, so we can educate you on little pieces like that. It was just great.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're obviously in that world for a reason. A lot of them want to be cops. A couple of kids in the room wanted to be federal officers. So, and it's actually
so they kind of like law enforcement.
Then. Yeah, they love law enforcement. It was actually so nice to see. Because, the tone of society ain't as hot as it used to be about. And obviously, we're our own problem. If a kid runs up to most officers anymore, they're like, oh, I want to be a cop. And they go do anything else but this. You know what? There is no greater job than this. There is no better job in the world than being a police officer. And we need to carry that message, man. Like, it should be us.
I agree. I love being a cop. But it's not everybody's experience. But I appreciate your time. Looks like you got to go.
I will go. Yes.
You're being told.
I'm so glad I got to meet you. So
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, if you ever want to be a guest, we'll do a live, and you can be a part of our live stream.
I'd love to.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Have a good day.
I'm out.
looks like the event is getting kicked off inside.
Thank you.
I believe that you guys can actually catch a live stream of inside. Last year we were inside and we got stuck because then we were sitting there all quiet. We had to whisper because they were talking about serious shit inside. We're not talking about serious stuff. I mean, we are talking about serious stuff. I'm looking over at Alan. And so we're going to let them do that. I am hoping that we will be able to snag more people. So what we're going to do is intermittently, we're going to pop on and off. If we can get somebody to come on, have a live interview, we'll do that. We're not going to go live the entire time. So for now, I am going to let everybody go for now. I think we'll jump back on in a little bit, Alan. Does that work? Cool? All right, guys. Thank you for jumping on. Again, we will be back on tonight, probably here very soon, as we can get people in and out to have interviews and continue from there. But for now, everybody, thank you for joining, and we'll be back. Shotgun and Tattoos, please have her back on.